Hello everyone, welcome back. Here we are for the second part of the ASCA signups, or the brand new series, the Copperhead Amateur Series. I'm very happy to announce this, and I'm very happy because I actually had this planned from the start, all the way back in Season 1, where I actually had a signups for the Mobile One Cup Series, but that eventually was scrapped, and well, didn't come through. However, I think that this channel is successful enough to start a new series, and the Copperhead Amateur Series is what we got. So this series, let's go over the logo here. I mean, it's a brand new logo. Copperhead is going to be the series sponsor, and is licensed by ASCA, and pretty much all the same things. It's just a reversed logo, pretty much of the Pennzoil one, but I very much like it. Obviously, you can see amateur, so this will be an amateur series. So if you're a rookie, this is the season you want to join. Now, if you've already signed up, and which if you have, you've probably seen that there are about almost 600 comments on my first video in like 8 hours. I gotta say that's incredible, guys. Or at least probably around 10, 12 now. But that's incredible, guys. Thank you for so much support, and it's been hard already, but I love doing it, and the Copperhead Amateur Series, I'm sure, is going to be a great add-on. So let me get back to what I was saying. The Rookie Series, if you're a rookie, this is probably the series you want to join, because you're gonna be faced off with a couple other rookies, and you're not going to have as many pro drivers blowing you out of the water. Now, however, I'm just going to go into one thing. Pro drivers are allowed in, but you cannot join races that are not double headers, and you're not able to join more than 4 races. So those are the only restrictions if you're a Pennzoil Pro driver and you're coming down in the Copperhead Amateur Series. I know some people will be like, well, why are we allowing them in here anyway? Well, it's just so that you can, like, it's kind of like I'm trying to make it as similar to the nation, like kind of a mix between the Xfinity Series and the K&N Pro Series. And if you can race against the Cup drivers and win, that's really good for you, and it will definitely show that you're a strong candidate for a ride in the Pennzoil Pro Series. But also, regarding the championship, the Cup drivers cannot earn points and rank up in this series. So just letting you know that. And anyways, let's just get on to the information. Just like last time, I'm going to have both the signups in the description as well as the information post on the forum site. So if you would, you can click on that and follow along as I pretty much just go down the list. A lot of the things are going to be similar, but there are differences, so please pay attention. Hopefully this won't be as long as the last one either. General information of this series. This series is a Copperhead Amateur Series. You will not find an earlier season than this one, because this is the season debut. And in contrast to the Pennzoil Pro Series, this has 10 less races, as we will be racing 16 races this season. And there will be no chase either, so it's just 16 races till the chase. There will be some off weeks to let the Pennzoil Pro Series race their full 26 races, and there will be no special races either. And obviously this will take place in the year 2016. Sign-up templates, they are exactly the same from last video. So pretty much all you have to do is just put them. If you want to be a driver, put the driver template. If you want to be a team owner, put the team owner template. And a lot of people are kind of getting confused on the paints. And the paints, I forgot to mention, like, we're not exactly doing paints right this second. Like, this is just basically for signups. You guys haven't even gotten your sponsors yet either, so you need to get sponsors to have paints. And just for now, just don't put that. There's gonna be a separate video specifically for paint requests, and just request them there, because I'll probably forget them by the time that video rolls around. Anyways, moving on, driver facts, and pretty much the same thing applies here. You have, you're just gonna have to sign up, use the driver template, then request to join a team. Pretty much everything's the same here, and it's just basically a second series. So there's not going to be as many pros in this one. There's going to be more rookies that you can race against and try to level your way up to get into the Pro Series. and pretty much the same stats apply. Like, you can change how successful you are in at different types of tracks and stuff like that. Um, I'm just trying to see if there's anything different I put here. But yeah, if you're a rookie, I definitely recommend joining this because there are going to be more rookies in this series. And if you already joined the Pennzoil Pro Series, it's not too late. I mean, nothing's confirmed. Just back out of the Pennzoil Pro Series and just drop to the Copperhead Amateur Series. I mean, it would be a smart decision. However, there are spots in the Pennzoil Pro Series, so if you do really want to get a jump start on the top tier series, expect to not qualify for a few races, but it would probably be good for you, actually. You'd already be stuck in a team, and next season, you'd be in your second season of the Pennzoil Pro Series, so, I mean, it could go either way. Anyways, that's pretty much it for driver facts. I mean, I went over everything in the Pennzoil Pro video, so if you're watching this video first, I would definitely recommend you watching the Pennzoil Pro Series video first, because I go into a lot more detail in that one. Anyways, teams. The teams, this is actually a little different than the drivers. The drivers was pretty straightforward, the same thing, but the teams, there's actually a lot of different things in this series. Anyways, the teams are kind of the same way you signed up. You just request your team with a template, go out and find drivers, stuff like that. But when you're a team, there are different ways you can be a team owner. And one of the ways is you can actually be a full-time driver in the Pennzoil Pro Series and own a team in the Copperhead Amateur Series. And we actually have a few people doing that. Now, how we do this is you have to have been in the series since Season 1. It doesn't matter if you raced one race in Season 1. If you were signed up in Season 1, you are able to run a team in the Copperhead Amateur Series. Just to say, hey, thanks for being so dedicated to this series. So if you're a rookie, you're not able to do that. And again, if you're in the Copperhead Amateur Series, you can't own a team as well. That was something else that a lot of people were getting confused in the signups. Like, you cannot be a team owner and a driver at the same time in the same series. The only exception was what I just said. If you're in your third season in the Pennzoil Pro Series, you can own a team in the Copperhead Amateur Series. That's the only restriction, though. However, differentiating from the Pennzoil Pro Series, you can have 6 teams in the series. Let me explain. This series is a different kind of it has a different chase system than the Pennzoil Pro Series. So in the Pro Series, you know how you have the 16 races, then you get into the chase where there's 20 drivers and stuff. The 50 drivers are all full-time. They're all racing it in those 20 spots. I mean, it's just basically a battle, a brawl to the end, and pretty much it just ends up with a chase and then one driver winning. Well, this is a little different, and I'm going to get more into the chase later, but you are only able to field 2 drivers out of your team that can run for the chase. I'm going to explain it all, so just hold on. Stick with me for a second. But the teams, you can have 6 teams. Obviously, all of them can't race at once. You can only have 4 teams try out for a race every week. And that's pretty much it. So you can have, here's an example. I know you guys are probably confused, but I'm going to try to say it as best as I can. If you have 6 drivers, they're just going to be generic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Every race, you can only have 4 of those guys try to race for the win. However, the next race, you can have drivers like 1, 2, 3, and 5 race, and then race after that, 1, 2, 3, and 6 race. Like, you can have teams behind the scenes, so you don't have to keep making driver swaps. It's kind of just like a way to maybe stable it out instead of having like a million drivers in the same ride. You can kind of split it up. So that's the way that works. Obviously, if you have any questions, just ask me, please. I am willing to answer any questions. You guys don't have to act scared. I mean, please ask me if you have any questions. So, looking through, pretty much the rating system is the same for this series as well. And team owners, since there won't probably be many Pennzoil Pro Series teams in the Copperhead Amateur Series, you're probably going to be doing a little better if you decide to join this series as a rookie rather than the Pennzoil Pro Series. So just make sure you think about that. I mean, there's already like I believe 23 teams or something like an enormous number in the Pennzoil Pro Series. And sorry to say, a lot of you guys aren't going to get team members because a lot of people have already like made plans. And since there is that 50 driver limit in the Pennzoil Pro Series, we're going to run out of drivers, and some teams are going to be left without any drivers. So if it comes down to it, just go to this Copperhead Amateur Series. There is no driver limit in this series, so just letting you know that. Looking through, let me see here, the driver team ratings are the same. Rookie team, let me see. Oh, yeah, okay, this is a new thing in the series that I want you to be aware of. If you're running a team, and you don't come back the next, like you just leave your team there, and your team's just sitting there while signups are going on. Like there are a few teams in the Pennzoil Pro Series that have not re-signed up just yet, and they might not ever. And if this happens, and you're a rookie team owner wanting to get experience really quick, you can take over that team if the team owner doesn't come back. Yes, so if you don't feel like starting from scratch, you can actually like buy in and become the new team owner of an existing team. However, just remember, if that team owner decides to come back before the season starts, you're just going to get kicked out of your ride, and you may not even have a team at the end. So be sure to like think smartly when trying to do that. But if you're pretty sure that the team owner is not going to come back, why not try it? Like you might be able to score a really good team. And it helps some of our teams like stay alive through the years as well when team owners leave the series. So that is another thing, and I'm going to see if anyone decides to do that. So if you're a team that thinks you're in a dead-end way, just try to find a team that hasn't had anyone sign up for it. So you might end up getting a score there. Oh, and another thing, if you're a driver in the Pennzoil Pro Series as well and you do not sign up, you won't be thrown out of the series. You're going to go into this series as a part-time driver for like 2 or 3 races, and that's how that works. So you're not completely out. You won't lose your rank. However, if you don't sign up again after that series, you're going to be out of the league. So just want to get that out there as well. So like I said, this is all a little complicated. I'm getting a lot of stuff out here right now, but just ask me if you have anything else to ask me about. Okay, so I think that's it for teams. We are going to move on to sponsors. Sponsors are the exact same. They have no real value and don't affect your driving abilities at all. It's just for aesthetics. So, and we will get into sponsors in another video with the paints. So just chill out. Don't worry about it. We're going to get there soon. So sponsors, any more information, just go see the Pennzoil Pro video. I think I went into more detail there. Schedule, and we only have 3 races on the schedule right now, but don't worry, that will be filled in here pretty soon. The schedule is most likely going to be filled up with short road courses and short tracks. So, like, NASCAR's home track system, there are going to be tracks from there going to be in here. That's why I'm relating it to the K&N Pro Series, because there are going to be those short tracks. And I do not believe I said this, but there are only 28 drivers per race. So yeah, there's like some of the tracks we go to are going to have a driver cap, so that's kind of why I'm doing a 28 driver limit. And anyways, that's how that works. 16 races. It's going to go all the way down. And let me talk about how the chase works now. The chase, this is a lot different from the Pennzoil Pro Series. In fact, it's completely different. The points, first of all, are completely changed. Since there are 28 drivers, the points are changed. We go up to 45 points as the highest, down to 41, 38, 35, 32, 30, 28, 26, 24, 22, 20, 18, 16, and then down from 16. 16th is, you get 16 points if you finish 13th, and then down from there decreases by 1 point. So if you want a visual, go on the site, you can see it there. From the Pennzoil Pro Series, you still have the pole equals 3 points, and the most laps led is 5. And stuff like that. Also, the Pennzoil Pro Series has a 25% rate in how many laps we run. the Copperhead Amateur Series will most likely have a 15% rate. I'm probably going to have to put that on there. I just remembered it right now. But that's how that works. Anyways, let's get right in the point system. The point system is essentially old NASCAR. There is not a chase system in this series, okay? So there is not going to be a race for the chase. Instead, it's just going to be a flat-out run through the 16 races. However, there's a catch. Only 18 drivers can run for the chase. And the reason why this is that there are only going to be 18 full-time rides in the Copperhead Amateur Series allowed. So this is actually, I was kind of getting into this with the teams. Teams can only have 2 full-time rides on the roster. The other 4 teams are going to have to be part-time. And I know it's a little crazy why I'm doing this. Like, only 18 teams, that's not that much. It's not, I'll give you that, but really this is a developmental program. If you're in the 18, like the list of 18 drivers, you're going to be running for that championship against each other out of the 28 of the field, and you're going to be qualifying for every race no matter what. And the rest of the drivers that are trying to part-time it in will be part-timing for those final 10 spots. Basically, that's how that all works. I mean, it might not be like what you really wanted because you may be left out of a full-time opportunity, but next season, when their 18 spots opens back up, you may be chosen for a pretty high team if you do well in your part-time ride. So obviously not many spots, so you definitely want to sign up, and you can see how many spots are left on the sign-up page, so make sure to check that out. I'm sorry if you can hear a little background noise. I don't know what that is, but just try to disregard it. You probably can't hear it anyway, but anyways, that's pretty much how the chase works. 16 chase races, 18 drivers running for the chase, and one will become champion. There's no rookie of the year There's no rookie of the year in this series since pretty much most of the drivers are rookies. And if you are a Pennzoil Pro Series driver that is retiring from the Pro Series and going down to the Amateur Series for more experience, you are eligible to run for the championship too. So don't think you can't. The only way you can't is if you are in the Pennzoil Pro Series at all. So if you are in the Pro Series, you are not eligible to run for the Amateur Series title. And that's pretty much it. I think I did pretty well on time. Let's see here. 17 minutes. So yeah, about 10 minutes less. Thank you for watching. Sign up in the description. I know a lot of you are really anxious to sign up, especially Jack. But thank you all so much for watching. This is the sign up video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the paints video most likely. Probably will be coming out in around 2-3 weeks once we get sign ups pretty much dealt with and we know where everyone's going. Thanks again. See you later.